Hello everyone, I just want to show you a new type of design for my Sonic form. And it'll be revolving around what we're doing. Behold the classic Sonic form. I'll be showing this for every time classic is being played. Of course I didn't show any type of Sonic form earlier because I didn't have it earlier. I didn't think about this at the time. Which the inspiration of this is basically, I saw somebody do Too Many Raptors in a classic look and I thought, why don't I try that? Anyway, here's what it looks like. I try look at my modern design and looking at classic Sonic's design to help me figure out how to make this work. And here we go. A classic version of me. I'll be doing this every time a classic Sonic's on board, while for modern games, I'll be doing my bigger look. My look that seems much older. So, how do you guys even like this? Do you like it that I'm making a totally different position, totally different form for myself, depending on which Sonic I'm playing as? But enough of that right now. I like both types the way they are, but I'm gonna be telling you about a story of the classic era where Sonic the Hedgehog shined back then, where he really grown on people. This is going to be a bit hard on modern fans because they never got to know Sonic that well in the past. And it's the same with me, but now I will tell you about how Sonic's whole career changed in the beginning. And yeah, let's get started. To get to know Sonic better, you gotta know the past. And so, I'm gonna be telling you about all of the classic era in this one video. So yeah, expect a long video now. Not too long, but long enough. But this is how the story of Sonic came. As Sonic was going around the Green Hills, well, some of his animal friends were inside of robots. When he busted one open, he found out there was an animal inside of it, and so he decided to free his animal friends. But at the same time, he first found Robotnik. And so, he took action and decided to beat up Dr. Robotnik. Which actually Dr. Robotnik is the enemy now. It's basically the same guy, but younger, I think. But anyway, Sonic chases down Eggman throughout the 6 or 7 zones. Sorry, I kind of forgot about how many zones there were, because I didn't complete it myself. But Sonic had to go through all those zones, chasing down Eggman until he reached Scrap Brain Zone. But of course, he also encountered a labyrinth, which is super annoying with just lot of levels! But anyway, when Sonic finally gets rid of Eggman in this final battle, and collects the 6 Chaos Emeralds, not 7, 6. He goes back to Green Hill with his freed animal buddies and restore life to the land. The end. But there was another game next. Alright, on to Sonic the Hedgehog 2 with Sonic and Tails. Tails is the fox known as Miles per hour, who could fly around by spinning his 2 tails around. Sonic uses them to get across these big gaps. But of course there's something else in the game, because if you collect the 7, that's right, there's 7 now. If you collect 7 Chaos Emeralds and 50 rings in the zone, well, 7 are very The 7 Chaos Emeralds are special. Collected through special stages and collect 50 rings that are in a specific in each zone, you could be able to become Super Sonic, who's invincible to just mere touch, but not invincible to being crushed. He doesn't have super strength, just super speed and invincibility. That's it. Of course, Emin is back on the South Island because of one thing and one thing only: Chaos Emeralds. He needs them to power his new destructive, well, ship, known as the Death Egg. Sonic and Tails knock him back and then chase him to the Death Egg, eventually going higher and higher into the skies. Eventually, Tails gets to a point where he can't be able to follow Sonic anymore, and Sonic has to deal with Emin on the Death Egg alone. And so, the conclusion fight happens with the 2 boss battles with no rings in hand. That means you cannot become Super Sonic on this stage, on the Death Egg. You basically face some Silver Metal Sonic, and then you face the mighty Death Egg robot, which Emin made specifically to kill Sonic, but fails. And so the Death Egg blows up and falls back to Earth. Or Mobius. Or whatever they call their planet. And that leads to events of Sonic and Knuckles. Well, not that, but I meant to say Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, along with the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Alright, this now leads us to the 3rd game in the series. And Sonic's already racking up points for speed and charm. And now, you basically got yourself a 3rd game with the 3rd character, but this guy's no friend at first. He's a rival of yours. Basically, when you arrive on Angel Island, you get uppercutted by Knuckles. And he steals all your Chaos Emeralds. Of course, he doesn't have them later on. They're scattered throughout special stages. Of course, you chase down Knuckles and Eggman because Eggman's trying to rebuild its Death Egg. And that's bad news. It's just really no good. Yes, I watched the little cartoon. But now, Sonic and Tails chase down Eggman throughout Angel Island and stop Eggman. Of course, when they do reach him eventually, but you also collect 7 Chaos Emeralds. They make it to the Death Egg, but they don't go inside. They destroy the big arm, but as for the Death Egg coming back down again, I think I could tell you why. I got a good explanation. That something probably went wrong in the Death Egg and it malfunctioned, causing an explosion, making it fall back down. Seems like perfect sense, right? Anyway, they then come to the 3rd game of the series. Well, not 3rd, but I meant 4th game of the series, Sonic and Knuckles. Well then, here we are. The 4th game in the series called Sonic and Knuckles, where you take 2 different characters with their own perspectives. They both go towards the Death Egg, which is basically launched into the island. And so Sonic tries to stop him, and while Knuckles trying to stop Sonic. And now we have 2 characters. Both of them lead to a fight against each other when they get nearby the Master Emerald altar. But of course, there's a twist! Knuckles was betrayed as Eggman steals the Master Emerald from himself. Knuckles, exhausted from the fight, leads Sonic to the one place that he could be able to reach a Death Egg with. And that is a Sky Sanctuary, the beloved stage has helped to make it to Sonic Generations. Whew. Kind of a big story, right? Well, while Sonic makes it to the Death Egg and fights off Eggman, Knuckles must face Mecha Sonic, an advanced version of normal Metal Sonic. Of course, Knuckles prevails, but the Master Emerald gets taken to the Death Egg, where Sonic then faces Eggman. Of course, Eggman tries to keep the Master Emerald even though he's being defeated. Sonic chases down Eggman and beats him up, but guess what? There's something else. There's an extra zone. If you didn't collect 7 carousels, too bad, you have to start the story over. But if you did, good job, you get to visit this extra stage and get a chance at pummeling Eggman to the ground. Because you turn to Hypersonic, which actually I had to say something about that. Hypersonic never returned to any part of the series, so I'm just thinking that it's just Supersonic, but shinier. I don't see the great purpose anymore, because nobody on Sega's decided to return that Hypersonic again. Maybe it's just because of that game. But of course, Hypersonic, he beats up Eggman in once and for all. Taking back the Master Emerald and return it to, Angel Island, where Knuckles continues to guard it. And that's basically the stopping point for Knuckles and Tails, but not for Sonic. He had another game called Well then, now it comes to Sonic CD, where Sonic met his first ever true rival, the original Metal Sonic, who rivals him in everything. Speed, attitude, you guys name it. And now, oh boy, it comes to a turning point. Who will prevail between the two? But of course they also introduced Amy Rose into this story. Of course this time Sonic chases down Eggman again, but this time you have to search for time stones because they added a very bad ending to the game. Not too bad, but it's a normal bad ending for once. And that's only if you don't collect the time stones. When Sonic does, everything's good. But of course on his way to the end, you have to race Metal Sonic, which I find is fitting. Sonic's game's about speed. Why not make a boss that's full of that? And they did that. Made a boss that's specifically made for speed. And now, this boss is actually hard. I actually found it once myself because I got the little app that let me see the game. I made it to that point, but down in Final Zone, it was hard. Of course, the future and past change depending on what you do during those times. On this game, you could go to a past, present, or future, depending on where you're at. You start in the present, but going through these little specific things that you see in the Stardust Speedway Zone of Sonic Mania, you get to go to a past or the future. And then the future, if you did nothing to the past, you get the bad future, which is conquered by Eggman. It doesn't even feel right. But of course you could change that by going to a past and altering some things, allowing Eggman to not have conquer it. Of course, eventually when you do reach the Stardust Speedway, you're forced to a bad future to race Metal Sonic. But then, you take the fight to Eggman and beat him up. This is where Sonic CD comes to a close. And there we go. We did the entire classic era. And now, you guys get your free time, and I get time off of this for a bit. This is long, and I hope you all have a good day. I'll be resting my lungs now. Hope you earned your time in the Sonic world. I'll see you guys next time. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye bye.